Alright guys, we're back on Collector's Company with another deck profile. Today we're joined by fourth place from the first regional of the season, Mr. Benny Zhang. How are you feeling after your
Ooh.
fourth place finish, Benny?
Honestly, pretty awesome. So the whole day I went X1, only losing to Peter and John. So honestly it feels amazing. Like starting off the season, finally we have events. So yeah, honestly it's great.
Oh, you didn't lose to me, Benny. You won, so it must be better,
Oh,
It
was it by one? Was it by one card? It wasn't by one
was
card.
pretty close. It was pretty tight.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and
so
then yeah,
bit of a flex from there, Benny. I've seen the top 16, the one that you won at nationals. So why don't you go through your deck, Gogeta Xeno, the top 16 boy.
yeah. Honestly, I wanted to play this for nationals. I feel like I did my boy pretty dirty. I would play this at locals all the time, but like, just one of the stories why I played this today was because I just wanted to bring him to one regional at least. So I'm glad I was able to bring him and top with him and do this deck profile here. So I'll just go over what the leader does really quick. So once per turn, when you Union Fuse, you get to draw a card, and then he warps the top five. And then you hope to see goodies, it's like playing roulette or going to the casino.
True,
You see
true.
Gokus and Vegetas, you're happy. If you don't, you cry. One of the games, burst at Pan, first meal, so that feels bad because you're never getting it back. And when you awaken on this side, it pretty much does the same thing as well. So untap one, draw one at 4 life. So yeah, one of the main things he does on this side is when he activates main, you can take a life as well. So you can rip through a life pretty quickly and giving 10k buff to two of your one drops. So yeah, a lot of times I use it even if I didn't have a one drop on the board. You just rip the life anyways to get the extra card. So yeah, honestly, this card is amazing and it's really pretty as well. All right, so we go over the quick engine that we run. So this is the main card still. Like this is the best one drop.
Best
I
one drop
know
in the
John has
game.
best one drop in the game. Literally, like you play it for one. Actually, you don't use the Overwhelm sticks often, but occasionally you can if you don't have the Goku and Vegeta. I did it once today, which was the first time I think I ever did it because I was milling
So
pretty
bad,
bad.
yeah.
So yeah, this card best one drop. Best one drop in the game. 25k double striker, warp a card. Like honestly, if it sticks on the board, insane. So and then yeah, we got this guy. We were talking about it today as well with John. Like this card just is not as good anymore after True Fighting Spirit got
Got
limited to
eroded, yeah.
one. Yeah, it's got
Unique,
unique
unique,
tag
yeah.
now. So yeah, honestly, I try to tech in one catastrophic premonition to hopefully so a lot of times I do have True Fighting Spirit on the board, and like maybe I can play a Vegeta and a catastrophic premonition. That's a form of double strike that I can use. Rip the leader, give them 10k pump. It's pretty good. So and
Yeah.
there's also another fusion target as well. So yeah, you draw one when you fuse. So it's pretty good.
I think the big thing about this card is the fact that it's still the only Gogeta fusion card that still has barrier. So like against specifically yellow, for
Yeah.
example, even though yellow's already I think not the hardest matchup ever because of the next Gogeta card, but just being able to play this and be like, all right, Poutine procs, the Trunks procs on this card, it's got
Correct.
barrier, so it just fizzles out. I think that's a huge thing too. But yeah, definitely it does
Yeah.
get worse that the fact that you have less targets to play.
Yeah, honestly, we were talking about it. John says you probably couldn't cut this to two, but it is still a Gogeta fusion name. Like honestly, but like what he said there against Trunks Vegeta, I expect a lot of them in the current meta, like because it's Icarus 2.0, so
Yeah,
like just being
exactly.
able to proc two of their cards is huge. And then yeah, another card that's really good against Trunks Vegeta. We got the Gogeta Peerless Fusion, so this is also a one drop fusion as well. Honestly, a really good one drop as well. So same thing, you evolve and then as you infuse and then you pop something 4 less with barrier. A lot of time this is huge. Like our best games are versus like AOD, even against trunks. You can proc this and just pop their trunks. So yeah, this can pop a lot of things like Lord Slug, whatever you can think of. Use it at your discretion. Against SS4 Vegeta today, which is Peter who won the game and also one of my losses apart from John. Like having this in my opening hand was legit huge. In one of the turns, I actually comboed to save it, so he wasn't able to ramp the next turn as well because he couldn't clear it. So yeah, this card put in a lot of work for me today. Definitely a staple at 4.
I don't know why you keep
All
on saying
right,
you
but
lost to me, but you beat me, bro.
I
What do
feel
you
like
say?
I lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's alright.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, but
In
then
practice, I always lose to you. So
yeah,
like it's the same thing.
yeah. Now the new Trunks card. This card is beautiful. Why don't you tell the world what it
All
does?
right. Yeah, honestly, this card is the replacement for the trunks that we have lost. Actually, if you warp this card, is honestly pretty insane. Also, shout out to Kevin because without him, he traded me two of these. So without him, I couldn't get the SPR
SPL
playset. Honestly,
playset,
it's
true.
super, yeah, super pretty. So I honestly think they built this also with Gogeta Xeno in mind. So what his effect is, his activate main for 2 black. If your leader card is black and there are 8 or more cards in the warp, play this card from your warp area. And when he dies, he goes removed from the game. But the good synergy is like usually with Gogeta Xeno, turn 1 you want to play a thwarting, hopefully if you can, or not, just like a true fighting spirit or something. And then after that, you should have 3 left in the warp if you did do that successfully. And then after that, go to your turn 2, you charge, and then warp 5 again. You should have exactly 8 in there, which will proc this effect. So you can play him as early as turn 2. And yeah, his dual attack deflect, so really good against blue because he's got deflect. Against red, he's not as good because like Jiren hits it. Honestly, a lot of things hit this. Like, yeah, the dual attack is nice if you're not versing red, I think. Yeah, what he does is really interesting as well, is that when he swings, you get to put 3 black battle cards back in your warp area. So swinging twice with him will facilitate 1 overwhelm 6.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
the dream scenario from like we're talking about, like going into your second turn, turn 1 you play thwarting, it's still 6 on board, and
yeah,
turn 2 if you're going first, right, you're swinging with thwarting, you're swinging with 2 trunk swings that lets you do an overwhelm. Like there's so much power behind that card, and it's honestly a little bit silly, but again, the downside of the card is the fact that the biggest downside is that like it costs 2 energy, and B, once it's on board you can't combo with it because of that permanent skill.
yes, that is correct. And yeah, honestly, this becomes what should I say,
Oh,
Trunks
oh,
at
Benny, you want to say that again? You just
4
cut
now.
out. You just cut
I
out
mean,
there.
I cut it before, but oops, sorry about that. I said honestly, this card now is a staple at 4 with this deck as well. So you're essentially playing like 8 thwartings and like whatever you need to grab back. And with the trunks, I think this is the best target to play. So a lot of time, if you do play this turn 2, I think the ideal target to go for is honestly, it's probably most of the time I did go for Beyond All Limits because simply because I'm playing at 4, I see it more often. But like you can go into things like Secret Identity
Binding
or
its
like
fate.
Fighting Against Fate. Yeah, honestly, you can do so much on turn 2. If your opponent doesn't like Valorant you, you should be alright.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
this card is insane. So grabbing something back 3 to 7, most of the time it is actually a Gogeta target or the Kai negate. And then shout out to 3xG bringing this card back. I don't know if I like it or not. What do you think, John?
Look, I haven't. Obviously, I'm not as I don't play Gogeta Xeno as much as Benny. It's a deck I do dabble with every so often, just playing on some untapped games and that. But I think the big thing about it is again, your deck plays around Overwhelm 6, right? Which you just want to be
Yeah,
playing. Thanks to the trunks, lets you play around that easily, and it is just another target for fusion between Goku and Vegeta. Like if you see, like let's just say now you mill a Goku and mill a Vegeta, and you're missing a fusion target, right? You can, it's one of the 30Ks. You just overwhelm the other one from your hand, right, and just able to get that cycle going. So I think it's not horrible. I think it's just okay.
yeah. Honestly, this can be your flex spot. Like if you want more catastrophic premonition and play like the PyCon chain, you can probably do that as well. Like honestly, I'm still thinking about these. Like I've only overwhelmed 6 with this once today, just simply because I needed to overwhelm. So because I didn't have this, so but this would never be my priority. But yeah, it's just another name. I'm thinking of cutting these probably, but I don't know what for at the moment. And going to the other secret overwhelms. So we got 2 secret identity and fighting against fate. Honestly, this can be anything of your choice as long as it's like free. I personally really like this. Like I said, like if you can do this on turn 2 with Trunks, you can if you warp this, you can actually grab like this back as well, right? Then it'll just facilitate even more pressure when your opponent's tapped out. Secret Identity is insane. Probably the best for this format still. You can probably bump this to 3 if you want to play more of like a defensive game because this helps you clear like blockers and stuff, especially against the U7 deck. Like if you play this, you can probably wipe off some like weenies and get some value from this, like or make 2-3 drops. Really good card. So
Yeah, hits
yeah,
token negates, and yeah, back to the point you're saying, you just grab whatever you need for like what you believe you'll need for the following turn with the Goku. So even if you are like warping stuff, realistically, you can grab everything back from your walk besides your super combos and your SCR. So I think it's like insane.
yeah. So it's really good. It's one of the cards I grab back as well if I see an opportunity. And secret rare for the deck, still playing Pan because it's free. Well, when there's 4 battle cards on the board, it's free. It's a really nice card. I milled it 3 for 3 today, so I saw it in 3 games. I won with them, but then the games I didn't see it. It does suck when did you mill this? Oh, it stings a little for sure. I guarantee it. So
Yeah,
yeah, you
no
can.
way to grab it back.
I never use the -1. Oh, sorry, not -1. The activate main for 1 to steal something today, because most of the time I just closed with Pan. Otherwise, I wouldn't really play her. So, yeah, she's still really, really good.
Pre 40k swings pretty good.
Yeah. And then, whoa, these foily boys that I recently just got so much foil, so much shiny good here. 3 Vegeta super combo. This is the best one to play in the deck, so why not? And then going for other Vegeta targets. So we have 8 in total. We run True Fighting Spirit. So yeah, 8 targets in total. This one hurts untapping. So if the opponent untaps energy, this will punish them by warping a card.
Really good into blue.
This is really good against blue, yes, and also Golden Freezer. So yeah, mainly just blue. So this card is insane, and also helps you self-awaken. Like right now, you need this card more than ever because True Fighting is at 1. If they somehow rest it, then you don't have one. Like, yeah, it feels kind of bad not being able to awaken because usually your ideal kill turn is turn 3 with this deck now.
No longer
Then
turn
yeah,
2.
yeah, not the turn 2. I don't think you can kill anyone turn 2. If you're tapping out 2 for the trunk,
Yeah.
there's still not enough pressure to deal like all 8 life.
Yeah, for sure, for
It's
sure.
really hard. And then for the 1-drop Gokus, we got the new unique Gokus now. Doesn't have the keyword, but we know it's unique. It sucks that it's unique because, like, for example, like one of the turns when I played against Peter, I knew he was going to baby hatch me because he tapped out, didn't untap energy. I really want to play 2 of these to tax him an extra card. Might have helped at the end of the day, but I couldn't. But I ended up passing that turn with 1 of these on the board and 3 energy up just because I couldn't do anything. So, yeah, it feels bad. But yeah, this guy is also really good as well. So whenever they activate counter, tax them. So, literally your whole point is to tax your opponent's hand.
Yeah, again,
All
for
right,
those
this
who
one's
don't know what the errata was on the True Fighting Spirit, it literally just now has unique. So the big thing that was horrible, that felt really bad about versing this deck is if your opponent like has 2, 3 fighting against Fate on board, and you just swing and negate, warping 3 cards. It feels pretty oppressive. But now they've changed that, so it's not as bad now.
Yep. So honestly, I really like the 5k. So like this one's not unique. Like I said, like if I do have like True Fighting Spirit on the board and I have a Marvelous Might that I want to play, I was thinking if I warp this, maybe it's another target that I can play, but this doesn't have deflect though, right? So because Marvelous Might is worse now. If you have True Fighting, you swung with it already to awaken. Just say if you have Marvelous Might, you can only play this if you didn't have this as the extra target. So I thought, yeah, I wouldn't mind having this. This is one of the targets I actually like to have in the warp.
Yeah,
as well.
I know there's a new 1-drop Goku 5k that literally just says play it, draw a card. That could be another option too, but just draws you 1 card. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah, the main thing is this card has double strike.
Yeah.
If you catch your opponent like sleeping, they don't know this card has double strike.
You wake
swing
them
for
up,
game.
You wake them up.
Yeah, you can wake them up with this, literally. Like, and it's foil. It's really pretty. So why not? Alrighty, going into we have 2 Supreme Kai. Honestly, this card can be at 3 because this card is actually really good. Yeah, helped me a lot in the SS4 matchup as well. I used it like turn 1 because I didn't want them to ramp. So yeah, this card is insane. Still a staple in the deck. So
Yeah. A big thing
yeah.
about that card as well versus, let's say, Red U7, which is a popular deck, if they're playing the Broly SCR, when they swing with Ultra Mastery, you can literally just play it for 1 and get rid of the Ultra Mastery so they can't upgrade into Broly SCR. And if they're playing Vegeta SCR, you simply just choose that instead and they can't resolve the effect to burn you 1 life. So this card's insane right now, I think, versus that deck.
I think this should be at 3. If I was to cut anything, I'll probably, cut some cards and put this back at 3. Like another thing that John said was, well, like this even works against like Secret Rare, either you warp a Kai or a Hatch if they get greedy, swing with it. Like, I mean, Hatch you have to swing. So say Kai, for example, like a lot of people swing with the Supreme Kai of Time. You warp it, it doesn't come back.
Even in the mirror against the Trunks, right, just permanently removes it. It's like this card feels so really powerful right now into certain things.
Yeah, this should be at 3 if I would fix this again. And we got 2 Super Kamehameha. This card is MVP against like Floodgates, Oceanus, Topo, you name it. I don't know. There's all these Floodgates out there, The main one that I used it on today was, I think, the Green Gohan from the SS4 Bardock deck and also a Riposte as well. This can also hit like counterplays and stuff. Just say if your opponent used I was playing with John. You can hit the counterplays that they do as well, like Fidel and stuff, because it's not in the counterplay, it's in the auto. So yeah, having this, if you really need to protect something, if I see this one again, I'll probably keep it because this card is honestly pretty insane. I really like it.
It is. Again, it's also one of the few cards you can't grab back from the warp with the Goku Overwhelm. So yeah, it's a good card.
Yeah, I'll probably keep this in my mulligan. Oh, this card better than ever now. Definitely better than before with the combination of the God Trunks.
Yeah,
Back in the
Koitsuka's
days,
insane.
yeah. So I was gonna say, like, literally back in the day, I still played these, but if I see it in my hand, I try to keep it and combo, and then tax my opponent again. But nowadays, you don't need to. As long as you definitely have this one of these in the warp by like turn 3 or something. You play this, you swing, you can put this back. Like just say if you put this on turn 2, right, and you have this, you can probably set up your next turn. Say they violent rage you put this there. They might start doing some counter plays on turn 3. Then use it at your discretion. But like with Trunks, you're literally able to use these more efficiently now. Before you couldn't.
Yeah, I think
So
any deck that can realistically mainboard Koitsuka without it being like hurting their strategy just gets an instant buff because Koitsuka hits so many cards in the game.
yeah, honestly, I remember playing against like King Piccolo. Man, this just
Yeah,
stings like you name it. Like it hits so much stuff.
I think a lot of
I think
players.
choose the right.
Yeah, I think a lot of players, myself included, want that card banned. But it is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, choose the right number. I'm surprised Bandai didn't ban it. So yeah, now we run the mirror. Like I said, we run 3 of these. So I think this is the next best unison to run after Smoke Dragon's banned. Like, I mean, not banned, but like you can't
You
play it
can't
in
play it
this
in this
deck
deck anymore.
anymore.
Yeah.
So if we could, we'd still definitely play Smoke Dragon over this. I never got the -2 off today to double strike my opponent, but the +1 is actually really relevant because you can send cards that you like. Say for example, these here, the Kai. If you're missing a Goku or Vegeta, you can mix and match and send whatever you want, and then draw a card. And then yeah, you can't see there's a few markers, same as the Pycon. But I still think you play this over the Pycon based on the fact that True Fighting Spirit is limited to 1. And this will help fix your hand and warp.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
never -2 on anyone.
Yeah, I think the
Would be
big
nice if I did.
the Champa, of course. Infinite power. It's
Yeah.
like the old school mirror Champa combo just auto win games back in
Yep.
back
Yep.
in the day. But yeah, I think the big thing definitely how did it feel playing the deck? Now that this is your first time fielding the deck at a tournament, right? Like post the errata. What do you think the biggest changes are from it realistically? Just less
Yeah.
hand side mainly, right?
Mainly left hand side. I could not stress how small the hand is without Smoke Dragon and the Trunks Unison. Like before, you can do that insane play. Like honestly, I learned a lot from John. Like John was the one that told me, right? If you do a Union Fusion, you bring a Vegeta and Goku back, and then you put this bottom of the deck. You play the Smoke Unison. You sack it. You have 3 overwhelm 3 for Trunks. It's free. You know what I mean? Like, but now you can't do that anymore. But yeah, so you lose a huge hand. I don't know. You'll realize once you play the deck. If you play the old one, yeah, your hand is much smaller playing this. But like the best part is still like you can play really aggressive. Probably one of the best aggro decks to play in the format still. So yeah, hand size is small, honestly, and there are some bad matchups, but I don't know. This deck is still really insane. I think. Yeah,
There you
I
go.
like it.
And that's Benny's deck, guys. There we go. Well, yeah, we're gonna have one more deck profile with Kevin from this regional scene, so he came second from the whole thing. So congrats to him, and also congrats to
Yeah.
Benny who finished top 4. He gets to win the gold sin. But yeah. Anyway, guys, make sure you stay subscribed. All that good stuff. We'll be uploading more stuff soon, and we'll eventually be bringing our podcast back. We just need to figure out when we're starting that back up. But yeah. Until then, guys. Yeah. See you all next time.
Yep. Peace out. Thank you.